Google Ads for real estate. How does it work? How do you get started? What's it good for? Is it worth the money? All these questions we get asked all the time. Hi everybody, my name is Nick Kramer from Driven Leads, and I'm here to talk to you about Google Ads for real estate. It's 100% what started Driven Leads. It's what got me in the door with working with real estate agents. That's a story for another day, but essentially we've been doing Google Ads in the real estate market for about 14 years. And honestly, it's something that can be extremely nerve-wracking for the end user and for a real estate professional that doesn't really know the ins and outs and doesn't want to get taken for a ride and lose a bunch of money and not have anything to show for results. Google Ads for real estate can be an extremely profitable program and marketing option for real estate agents, brokers, and real estate teams throughout the country. We work with about 130 to 160 agents, clients, and brokerages all over the country in North America, honestly. And we get a lot of the same questions about why should I do this, and I've heard this is not worth it, and why not do Facebook? We've heard it all, honestly. And what I go back to each time is if you follow things properly, if you do the work, put the work in, and you're doing proper follow-up on your leads, like you would follow up on any lead you have in any market, then Google Ads is going to generate a good amount of leads for probably a pretty good price, and honestly make you a lot of money. The ROI that a lot of our clients are seeing that have proper follow-up, that do the work that it takes to do that follow-up, have systems in place, and then track it. That's the biggest thing is when you're running Google Ads. The beauty in that marketing is back in the 80s and 70s and early 90s, you couldn't track what was working and wasn't. That's a running joke in the marketing world is 50% of my marketing works. I just don't know what 50% does and what 50% doesn't. Now with the digital age, we can tell you 100% what works in your Google Ads and what doesn't. So that's the beauty inside running Google Ads and tracking everything and being very meticulous with your program. When you're running Google Ads inside your markets and generating real estate leads, the biggest question that we have from clients is how much is it going to cost? Well, it depends, right? And that's something I say all the time, and I've said this in a bunch of other videos. It all depends. The cost per lead comes down to what the average sale price is in your market, how much how many houses you have on the market, what your inventory look like, what's the competition in the auction, which Google Ads is an auction. It's just a high-level auction. Think of eBay on steroids, so to speak, but then it's all blind. It's like a silent auction, so to speak. How many people are in that? What's your competition look like that? And then, what are you willing to give to get those leads? And that's where your cost per lead comes in. But at the same time, your cost per lead is going to be a lot lower than it would be if you're going and buying leads, paying per lead instead of paying per click. If you're going out and buying leads from a large lead aggregator like realtor.com, Zillow.com, any of those places that are just selling you flat leads, you can cut out a lot of that cost by generating your own leads and controlling your own traffic and your own lead flow. And that's some of the most attractive things to run Google Ads for real estate lead generation, is that you can dictate where it comes from, when it comes in, how many you get, and what you do with those. So and that's something that is very attractive to people, and the biggest misconception is that you don't have any of those options. You sort of have to just take what you get. A lot of people come to me and say, well, I know I'm going to get a ton of condo leads, or I'm going to get a ton of rental leads, and I'm going to get a ton of people looking for investment leads. No, not at all. You're going to be able to siphon out all that stuff. You can turn off all that white noise and just generate single family home leads from the city that you want. If there's another city that is in your market that you don't work, Or let's say it's, like my area, I live in a metro area that has the Mississippi running right down the middle, and it's one state on one side and one state on the other. And we have a lot of agents that aren't registered or licensed to work in the other side of the river, so they don't want leads from there. So you just don't run traffic for that. It's very simple. It can be complicated depending on what kind of stuff you want to do, but to its core, Google Ads can give you what you want, where you want, how you want it. And then, after getting a good amount of data, we can pretty much dictate, and we know what that cost per lead is going to be. And then again, if the agent, broker, or the team is working their numbers properly and tracking things properly, they're going to be able to formulate and get a good idea of what the cost per closing is going to be, and see what their ROI is going to be, and be able to pull different levers that somebody starting out isn't able to pull. They can say, hey, let's shut down this area. Let's not run leads or run lead gen traffic at these times of the day because it's not making us any money. Because when you're generating those leads, you can see when that person came in, what they were searching for, what their keyword was. What you can look at all of that stuff, look at the avatar of the ones that you're closing deals on, and if they all are similar to each other, or they're all in the same area or the same city, and you're running in 6 different cities, run in one city. Your ROI is going to go through the roof. I mean, it is as simple as that. Now, where it gets difficult is when you're running Google Ads for real estate people, is getting them to track that. So it really comes down to being extremely disciplined when you're managing your lead gen to figure out where your stuff's coming from, when it's coming in, and then also what's the best plan of attack as you go. Now there are caveats to that. There's always it depends, right? There's always something that comes up from that. You could run into a pandemic. You could have interest rates go up, market shift, things change. People don't want to live in city A, now they want to live in city B. Or, city B has a new manufacturing plant that shows up, or a new headquarters that shows up, and now that's the most popular. So things do shift. They happen, year over year. There's a lot of consistent stuff that happens. But one thing that's consistent is Google Ads is going to be your best bet to generate leads within a few days of starting your program, possibly within a few hours of starting your program, and then consistently having that lead flow, that funnel running, making sure that bucket's always full. There's a lot of people that will run lead generation and it's cyclical, or it comes and goes, or other people come into the market and want to will pay more, so all of a sudden you're in a bidding war for that place that you were generating leads. Google Ads is a massive solution. You're never going to be booted out by somebody else. You just might have to bid a little bit more, and the cost per lead might go up a little bit. But when we're talking cost per leads going from $12 to $15, it's a lot different than somebody coming in and saying, well, you were paying $1,000 for these deals. Now you're going to be paying $2,500 because we know how much you're making on the back end, so we're going to try to scrape that off and call that a finder's fee. Being able to generate leads on Google and to dictate what your lead count's going to be, how many deals you can get, when you have those numbers in, and the clients that we have that have those numbers really honed in times of uncertainty, things become pretty laser focused, and it's a consistent thing that they can go back to and continue to go back to that well, and continue to have that water flow in and those leads flow in. It makes life a lot easier. And it's something that they don't have to worry about at all times. So where that's different than the other places to generate leads is that there's not consistency on other platforms. The quality isn't there. The search intent isn't there. We always talk about intent. What's the search intent? Well, the intent of that person that clicked on your ad was, from the get-go, homes for sale in XYZ city. The intent of the person that was on Facebook was to see what's happening with their cousin and the latest addition to the family they had, or the vacation that they went on. And then all of a sudden, oh, there's a house. Well, that's a cool looking house. I'll click on it. And a lot of those are done with a little bit of bait and switch, where look what you can buy for $350,000 in XYZ city. and it's a picture of a $1.5 million house. Yeah, that'll bring people in, but that's not a search intent. That's not their intent wasn't to go to the internet and look for homes for sale. So keep that in mind when you're placing money in buckets. The Google Ads stuff is the people with the high search intent. Facebook, not so much. Instagram, not so much. TikTok, not so much. YouTube, yeah, there are people on there that are looking for answers on buying real estate. So there's an opportunity there, and that opportunity grows every year. Microsoft, definitely opportunity there. But at the end of the day, the tried and true method, and the thing that we run for 95% of our clients day in and day out, Google Ads. Google Ads for real estate has been a constant lead generator for the last 15, 20 years. Everybody says, well, I can go to Zillow and get it. Where do you think Zillow gets their traffic? How do you think Zillow gets their leads? I guarantee you a lot of people go into Google Ads or into Google and Google the word Zillow. We see it. We can bet on that if you'd like. So it is the top dog. It is the place where you go to get lead generation. You can do it yourself. You can pay for somebody to do it, like a company like mine. But at the end of the day, it's not that tough. The barrier of entry is not that hard. It can be confusing when you're doing bidding and when you're starting out and figuring things out. But hopefully, I can help guide you through that with some of these videos that we kick out. But at the same time, Google Ads is a great resource for lead generation and to build your business, and then to grow your business year over year consistently, and potentially grow your team and grow your empire. So don't sleep on Google Ads. If you have any questions for it, by all means, ask the questions in the comments. Give us a ring. Reach out to us at Driven Leads, support@drivenleads.com. We love to have those conversations day in and day out, and look forward to meeting you and answering any questions that you have. Everybody have a great day, and we will talk soon.